Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Fernando Mendoza Ibarra, and I am in the biomedical engineer degree of the Universidad Autónoma de Chihuahua, the Watch. And today I'm gonna present the anatomy and the physiology of the muscular system. This is one of the most important systems of the human body because it is the one that make us move our bones and provoke the movement of the whole body. So that's why I choose this particular topic because it's one of my favorites systems of the whole body. So let's get it started. Well, in the image, we can see the superficial muscles that are in the body. Why superficial? Well, actually, um, we have more muscles behind these superficial muscles. So that's why we can only see these ones, but we have a lot of more just inner of this superficial surface of primary muscles. And these ones are the most big, so that's why are the superficial for their longness and their length and their their bigger structure than the other ones. What is the muscular system? Well, the muscular system consists of all the muscles of the whole body of the total body of the human being, and this quantity of muscles make up approximately the 42% of the total body weight. That's like almost the half percent of our own weight. So uh yeah, for example, if I weigh 100 kilograms, my approximately mass of my muscles it's going to be of 42 kilograms. But yeah, and these muscles are com composed of long, uh, long, slender cells known as fibers. These microfibers that we can see in the muscular cells. And yeah, the length of these fibers are different. It depends on the type of muscle because we have actually three types of muscle. And this length or these fibers are going to vary in the color from white to deep red, as we can see on the image. In the image, we can see a portion of that muscles that are red, and other portion that are white. Like, I don't know if my cursor is seeing on the presentation, but yeah, I'm marking the chest, the space between the two pectoral majories that is actually white, and the pectoral majories is the color red, like the text said us. Um, well, these are just some examples of the muscles of the superficial part of the system that are the frontalis muscle, the trapezius, the deltoid muscle, the pectoralis major, the triceps brachii, the biceps brachii, the latissimus dorsi, the abdominal muscles that are this one of here of the abdomen that are like 10 muscles, but they are just one for, so to say. We have also the gluteus maximus, the sartorius, the biceps femoris, the rectus femoris, the gastrocnemius, and the Achilles tendon. That this tendon is just a part of the muscle. Actually, tendons and muscles are actually not the same, but part of the same thing. And note that we have two muscles that are called the same, that are called biceps, but the next word of the previous one, the next word of the word biceps, tell us where we're gonna find this muscle. The biceps femoris say to us that it's where the femur is. So where the femur is, we're gonna call this muscle the biceps femoris. And also with the biceps brachii, we have the brachial zone here. So the biceps brachii say to us that is on this portion of the body. But yeah, as I also said, each muscle will consist of a group of fibers that are these ones of here. These are muscle fibers that held together by the connective tissue. The connective tissue on the image are the one that is uh, more more bright and not darker. And yeah, this is the connective tissue, and the tissue between this tissue are the fibers, and these are going to be enclosed in a fibrous sheath or fascia. And this is the correct anatomical word, the fascia, that it pronounced fascia. And yes, so we're gonna have here different images that represent these fibers. In this one, we can see these fibers of color more red than the other one. The other thing, it's the connective tissue. So yeah, and if we see it on the other image, well, these fibers can see it more more easily than the other ones because they are like lines on the muscle. These lines are these fibers, but these fibers are composed of more tiny fibers, and these tiny fibers are composed of more tiny fibers. Those fibers have their proper names, like microfibrils, the another fibrils, the macrofibrils. I don't remember too good, but yeah, these are composed of more fibers or tiny fibers. And in this image of here, we have a foot, and as we can see, we have this fascia, and this is the superficial tissue of this image. Then we have the nerves, the bone, and between those, the nerves, bones, and arteries, we have the muscles that are this one of here in color rose with these tiny dots of the muscle that represent the fibers. And as I also said, we have three types of muscle. The muscle causes the movement, like I said on the introduction of the topic, and they help to maintain the posture and they produce heat to keep us warm. So there are three types, or we can classify this muscle according to function and appearance. We have the cardiac muscle cell, or the cardiac muscle, just like that. And we're gonna find this type of muscle, of course, like its name says, on the heart, because this is the only type of muscle that we're gonna have in the heart, because it's a combination of the other ones, the skeletal muscle cell and the smooth muscle cell. The smooth muscle cell, we can find it on the other organs, so as the stomach, the intestines, the liver, etc., the pancreas too. We're gonna have these smooth muscle cells on these organs. And the skeletal muscle cell is the one that we're gonna find it most, or the most representative one, like the other muscles that we seen in the first image, the brachial, the biceps femoris, etc. So This is the most representative type of muscle, the skeletal muscle cell. But why the cardiac muscle cell is a combination of these two? Well, it's a combination of the smooth muscle cell because it's for an organ. So every organ will have, or it's going to have this smooth muscle cell. But as the heart contracts and expands itself, it must have the characteristics of the skeletal muscle cell that have the same actions of these skeletal cells by the contraction and the expansion of this muscle. So that's why the cardiac muscle cell is a combination of these two types of 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 muscle cells. And yeah, what else? What else? I think that's everything for this slide. But yeah, just this image representing each type of muscle, the cardiac muscle with the heart, the smooth muscle cell with the stomach, and the skeletal muscle cell with the biceps brachialis. Yeah, well, talking a little bit more specific of this type of muscle, we're gonna have that the skeletal muscles are elastic and they work in pairs, one flexing while the other is extending. So there's going to be a balance between these two muscles to provoke the movement of the body and to, of course, having these these this movement so controlled with yeah, and they are straighted. That is a characteristic of those of those types of cell. We can see it in the image. This is a real image of how these muscle cells looks like, and we can see these straighted marks in well, they are the most darker, but these straighted marks are these ones of here, and we can see it all along the length of this muscle. And they are straighted with horizontal markings and are stimulated to contract by electrical impulses from the nervous system. The nervous system is going to be an important part of the function of this type of muscle, because with their work, it's going to provoke the movement of these muscles, the contraction and the expansion of these type of muscles. This action is really fast, and the white muscle fibers will contract rapidly, but they will have a poor blood supply. That's why these type of fibers are the color white, because they have a poor blood supply, and the color of the other fibers are from its blood. So that's why these are white. And these fibers can operate without oxygen, and they tire quickly. In other hand, we have the red muscle fibers, and these ones are going to be slow. These muscle fibers can contract more slowly and have better blood supplies. That's why its color it's provoked by the whole blood that it's um yeah moved that is moved in this type of muscle cells. And that's why these type of fibers operate with oxygen, because the blood have oxygen that we need to create energy and to make this muscle works. And they do not tire as easily as the white muscle fibers, but they are used ongoing movement, such as maintaining posture. That's why we're gonna need these working pairs to maintain a posture, because when one contracts, the other one must extend to stabilize the body and to maintain this posture and this equilibrium of the body. Without this system, we are gonna fall, and we don't want. We don't want that, right? The other one is the smooth muscle. The smooth muscle contract slower than the skeletal muscle. That's why we're gonna find this one in the organs, because it is not important that these organs contract so as the skeletal muscles, but it can remain contracted longer and are not as dependent on oxygen. That's why its color more rose than red, because it not depend of oxygen. And they are stimulated by electrical impulses or hormones as the skeletal system, but adding this hormone activation. And they uses carbohydrates for energy like the glucose or fructose. The smooth muscle lines most hollow organs of the body, such as the intestines, the stomach, and the uterus, like we have seen on the image of the previous slide, that the stomach has this type of muscle fibers, and they help move substances through the tubular areas, such as blood vessels and the small intestines, contracting automatically and rhythmically. So that also, this type of muscles actually work with electrical impulses, but not, but they are autonomous. We don't think to make the digestion. It done for itself. So we don't need to think about it to do it. That's one of the other difference with the previous type of muscle. But yeah, and the last one is the cardiac muscle or the myocardium. These one are straighted like the skeletal muscles, like we can see on the image. They are straighted. It has lines, but are smaller and shorter, like these ones. In the skeletal, the length of this straighted was the whole diameter, or the whole diameter of the vessel. But right here of the fiber, sorry, not the vessel of the fiber, but right here we can see that the length of one can be 4 times in a single fiber. But yeah, and they are stimulated to contract by electrical impulses sent from our small clumps of specialized tissue in the heart. This activates itself so as the so as the smooth type of muscle fiber, but it will be provoked by the sinoatrial and the atrioventricular node, and this is the phoneme of how it pronounced. But yeah, you can study it by yourself. I just added here to so you can know how it's pronounced, this type of word. But yeah, these are the most important nodes to provoke the contraction of this type of muscle by these electrical impulses formed in the sinoatrial and the atrioventricular node. The parts of the muscle are three: the body, that is the main portion of the whole muscle; the origin, that is fixed attachment; and the insertion, that is the point of attachment to the part of the body moved by this muscle. For example, the origin of the biceps muscle, it's the scapula. Right here are the origins from scapula, and the insertion is on radius, because this muscle, it's going to move the radius, not the scapula. The scapula will remain stable, will remain in this position of here, and what it's going to move, it's the radius with the help of the biceps muscle. And I already explained that picture. So yeah, and well, the body of the muscle is the red portion, and the tendons are the origin and the insertion, respectively. The parts of the muscle, the tendon is a means of attachment. So the tendon, it's part of the muscle actually, and it's going to connect the muscle to the bone. And they vary in length. Of course, not all the muscles we're gonna have the same length of tendons, but from less than an inch to more than a foot, it's going to be this measure. And a white sheet-like tendon is called an aponeurosis. We're gonna have these major muscles, that is the biceps, the abdominals, the sartorius, tibialis, soleus, gastrocnemius, rectus, femoris, the obliquus, the pectoral, and the mastoid. These just are another examples. We already see the biceps brachialis, the abdominal, but not the tibialis or the soleus or the gastrocnemius. But yeah, I just wanted to show to you these other muscles. We have also the latissimus dorsi, the gluteus medius, the gluteus maximus, the gastrocnemius, the Achilles tendon, the hamstrings, the triceps, deltoid, and trapezius. Tonicity. The muscles are continually working to maintain a posture. This is passive muscle contraction known as residual muscle tension, called tonicity. The tonicity is not the same as achieving muscle tone through exercise. The tonicity is just to remain in a good posture without minimum effort or without effort. The 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 achieving muscle is thanks with the exercise, not with the tonicity. The effect of exercise in the muscles, with aging muscles decrease in strength, endurance, range of motion, coordination, and elasticity. Exercising the muscles can help to prevent a loss of strength. And that's everything. Thank you.